Hi, David here. This is the slow stick's ugly cousin that I'm calling the Sparrow Scout. So it has lots of elements that are familiar to the slow stick, the carbon fiber arrow slow stick. However, I've made it into a pusher with a parasol wing with an unobstructed view for FPV. The Sparrow Scout here, I've been thinking about for a while, and I really like some of the elements and the way that the slow stick with the carbon fiber arrow shaft flies. And it's made a really fun FPV platform. However, as many of you know, part of the fun of flying comes from trying something new or different. And I have not flown a slow stick in a pusher format, so I've always kind of wanted to do that. I have the biplane, which has raised the top wing, and I've flown that without the bottom wing, and that's kind of been fun to try out. So it got me thinking, making a parasol pusher, and you'll see and recognize a lot of the same elements from the slow stick that I have. And if you want to look at that video, look at the link below. The Sparrow Scout here, the weight is very similar to the slow stick. It does have a whole new wing. It's a little shorter in the cord by a couple of inches, but I've added a little bit more length to the wing. So the overall wing area is very, very similar to the slow stick, but it's got a little shorter cord. The tail is very similar in the same size to the slow stick. The only other thing is that at the top of the mount right back here is the motor, and I've left enough room. It's raised high enough. It can use probably up to an 11-inch prop. So if you get a low enough kV motor like the 880 kV motor that I like on the slow stick, you can still fly it on here. This one I'm starting with is an 1120 kV motor, and I'm doing an 8.6E prop. This is probably going to be a little underpowered, but it should give me a long flight time. And so that'll be interesting to try. The airplane and the design is that the motor mount, I have added it, and it's straight to the back end and perpendicular to the stick. So I may need to adjust some up thrust, similar to a lot of the pushers that you're probably familiar with, like the Sparrow Scout and other airplanes that have the motor on the back end of the wing. I'm going to start it straight and flat and flush, perpendicular to the sticks. About the wing joiners, there is just a 5mm round dowel that keeps the spacing between the front and the back, and it adds rigidity, especially when there's forward pressure from the motor pushing. This is what I wanted to try. This is very similar to what I did on the biplane on the upper wing. These are the holes that hold the leading edge, and these are the nylon nuts. They get just pressure fit into the slots. All the holes, they're lined up perfectly for this size of motor. So I hope to have the plans and the STL files out soon. I wanted to fly it first, and then we'll get it up for you, hopefully by the next time I post the next video with the FPV gear. I'm a little worried about the flexibility of these guide wires. These are the control wires. The only thing I have currently right now was very thin, and they do flex way too much. So I do have some on order. They're going to come tomorrow, and I'm going to be changing those out, but I'm going to fly it as it is. In the nose here is a couple of screws that go in to hold the arrow shafts. The other thing here is that allows for us to have this foam body. Now, you may see a couple of these washers. There's 4 on the bottom and 2 on the sides. So this will give us the ability to change out this body, make it as ugly or cool as you want. The FPV camera I'm planning to have right up here on a gimbal, and we'll see how that goes. In the next video, we'll show some of the FPV elements that we've designed, and hopefully we'll get this thing to fly. And if you like seeing content like this, please subscribe, share it, like it, all those. And we'll continue to develop things like this that are just fun to fly. We're gonna give this a shot today. I haven't flown this yet, so hopefully we'll see this happen together. Between the motor mount angle and the guide wires and getting the CG right, those are the things that I'm thinking about first. I'm pretty confident that we can get it to fly, and I'm pretty excited. It's just always, this is why we do the hobby. This is why we fly RC airplanes, is that maiden flight. It's the excitement that happens when we have something new and we don't know how it's gonna fly. I'm balancing this at the highest point of the wing, and that's my starting point. I haven't flown it yet, but that's my guess where the CG is going to be best for this wing. One of the first things that I'm going to do is I haven't even ground tested this, so I just want to see how it handles on the ground.
Throttle active.
Oh, pretty cool. I love this design of the tail wheel. It's a whole nother dimension to the slow stick family, or those stick airplanes. Now this is a landing gear kit that I get from Amazon. It comes with all the hardware, the aluminum and the axles, including the wheels. I change out these wheels for some of the larger ones that I 3D print. That'll give the body a little bit more lift off the ground. I'm using a 3D printed tail wheel, exactly the same as the slow stick. I've been pretty happy. I've used them on a few of my other models that I FPV with, and they're great. They're not very heavy at all, but they're easy to work with, easy to get off Amazon for a decent price, and they bolt right onto the parts that I've designed.
12 minutes.
So we're gonna send it. There really isn't any noticeable wind, but I think I'm gonna try and take it off from left to right. Oh, wow. I'm applying a little bit of back pressure right now. But dang, I think we got the CG just right. Wow. I haven't done any trimming. I'm doing back pressure to keep it level. But this feels really good. There's something about putting that low center of gravity on these planes.
11 minutes.
This is darn cool. Oh, I can't wait to get an FPV camera on this. Oh, I love it. That is awesome. That's what we want as a designer, and is to be able to, think about something and put it in your mind, put it through the printer, the CAD files, and then put it together and then fly it. That's what this hobby is all about. I love it. It checks all the boxes that I enjoy in my mind, and I'm sure that's why you're here too. So I'm completely happy with this airplane. I don't think I'm going to change the motor mount angle at all at this point. I'm going to fly it a little bit more. I am changing the rods. I'm very happy with where this is at. I think you may enjoy this as well if you want something new and a little different, and especially in a fun FPV platform. Stay tuned. My next video, I'll have the FPV gear in it, and we'll take it on that adventure. Thanks for watching, and if you're still here, please subscribe. That helps me out a lot. Share this with your friends, and get out there and fly. Thanks for watching.